Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing today? So I got an announcement to make, but we'll wait until people start filtering in here. Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome.
For the girl who loves a soldier is the girl who adores a parade. And she loves to see her soldier play his part in the grand cavalcade. For the girl who loves a soldier is in love with the right kind of man. When he says, fall in my
Love my videos? Well, appreciate it, man.
she falls in his arms while she can.
Yeah, now that I'm done with my classes, I'll have a little bit more time to work on videos. At least for about a month. I'm also going to be looking at doing a, how many people do we have in? Restream is not telling me yet. So we got about 11 people on YouTube and some people on Twitch apparently. Double check that. Restream is taking its time to update. There's definitely more than one person watching on Twitch. Oh, whatever. Anyways, yeah. Starting likely next week, I'm setting up an official stream schedule for a few days or for a few weeks. So you guys will be able to catch me at specific times, and you'll know exactly when my streams start. I used to have a stream schedule way back in the day, before I had to go back to school. But it hasn't been feasible to do one as of the last couple of years. So I'm going to try and set up one for at least a month or so, before I go back to school again at the end of August. What's my opinion of the M6A1? It's a solid vehicle. It may not be the most powerful vehicle at its tier, but it's pretty decent. But yeah, essentially, the stream schedule is going to be pretty much thus. Tuesday and Wednesday, from around 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, for pretty much everybody else, that, like, if we go by Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast of the U.S., that's 4 p.m. East Coast Time to 7 p.m. East Coast Time. And add 9 hours to that for Europeans. I may start early if I actually wake up early enough. So like it could also be as early as 9 p.m. European time. So like 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up to midnight for Europeans. 6 p.m. for East Coast and 3 p.m. or 3 or 4 p.m. for Pacific Standard. But yeah, I'm gonna put together a graphic today after I finish the stream that will display the the streaming schedule. And I'll put it up on my Twitch page and on my Discord and on my YouTube community page. Are you playing the Commonwealth? I'm going to be playing a number of things today. Probably focusing a little bit more on the Italians. Playing a little bit of my AUBL. In preparation for the 60mm version. Which I am really, really looking forward to. I wonder if, because it's going to have the APF SDS, if they're going to put it at 6.7 or 7.0. I really hope it's not anything higher than like 7.0. Because while it does have APF SDS, it's APF SDS that's like barely capable of penetrating a T-54. At like it'll penetrate a T-54 at like 2 kilometers or something like that, but it's not much more powerful than that. Which is, I believe it'll do 120 millimeters at 60 degrees at 2 kilometers. Yeah, I've seen Wargamer Dragon. In fact, I played Wargame European Escalation and Wargame Air Land Battle, but I never enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed their previous, like Eugen's previous titles, such as Ruse. Ruse is my jam. Ruse is my second favorite strategy game of all time. My number one being Men of War Assault Squad 2. Or the Men of War series in general. And number 3 would probably be Company of Heroes. What do I think about the new event vehicles? I think they're pretty cool. Like, they're definitely going to be novelty vehicles, which I think they've struck a good balance here. The vehicles that we're going to be getting are novelties. They're not going to be essential to have in order to actually do well. Gaijin generally does a pretty good job of picking out interesting event vehicles, and I think that these are no exception. They're going to be fun to play. They're going to be novelties, though. I can definitely see some of those vehicles going for a pretty high price, especially the BT-7 with the 76. I know the BT is a pretty popular vehicle for people who like to rush caps, or play it like, or rush caps at top tier, and having a premium version of the BT-7 is just like, is a dream come true for many people, I imagine. Especially one with a more powerful gun, and decent APHE in it, so if you were to flank even something at high tier, you could do a lot of damage, potentially. Have I played Ruse as the Japanese? Yes, but only on console and a very, very long time ago. You can still find copies of, like, the Japanese DLC, but they don't sell Ruse on Steam anymore. As of, like, 6 or 7 years ago, they took Ruse off of Steam, so you can't buy it. Because of the licenses expired. So if you have Ruse, you can still play it, but if you don't have the game, then good luck finding it. Although you might be able to find a couple of copies on Amazon, if I recall correctly. But there's not very many of them. There's like 10 at most. But yeah, it was a long time ago when I last played the Japanese, and I remember playing them very fondly. They were a really fun nation to play. Ruse in general is just for me, it's like the perfect balance as far as like a strategic level RTS is concerned. I'm not really a fan of like war games RTS style, only because there's so much micromanagement that you have to take care of, and there's so many factors that are outside of your control that I'm not really a fan of it. With Ruse, you have a lot more control, but the game is a lot simpler. What's your question, Ian? Oh yeah, the P-59. The P-59A is really, really cool looking too. Having that 37mm and the 350 cals is really awesome. Opinion on the Act 3 VK107? I really haven't played the Act 3 very often. Like, I've heard really good things about it. In fact, Guy Jiggles added it to my account by accident once. I mean, I still have it, but like they meant to add something else, and they added the Yak 3 by accident. And they're just like, if you don't want it, we'll take it back. I'm just like, I'll take it. Free stuff is free stuff. But even though I have it, I've almost never played it. That Cuphead in the background? No, it's just music from the 1940s era. Sub to you? Well, if you have content that I would prefer to watch, then sure, I'll sub.
We're gonna hang out the washing on the Z3 line. Why? Because the washing day is here. Now whether
You happen to know Spookston? I know who he is, and I know what he does. And he's on the Gaijin content creator Discord. I just haven't talked to him, but I know of him. Yeah, he makes great stuff. Much better than my Gun Tank series that I never completed. I do actually have to complete that at some point, but it just depends on how much work I'm willing to put in for how much for the return. AC-57, it's all right. Like as far as like as far as a practical vehicle is concerned, the AC-57 is meh at best. The reason why it's so adored is because it's really, really small and it packs a punch for its size. Like, it's a meme vehicle, and that's fine. People, I know a lot of people get a real kick out of that sort of thing. I don't really. I'm not the kind of person who generally plays a lot of meme vehicles. That's not exactly how I tend to get enjoyment out of the game. I'll play them every once in a while, but not on a regular basis. The A4 Skyshark? Or is that the... No, that's the A2D1. The A4? I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see.
How can we live when the price of our food is 14 and 3 pence per butt?
I mean, generally speaking, my opinion on if X or Y vehicle should be in War Thunder is yes. The more content is more content, people. Like, I'm not going to turn down extra content. As long as Gaijin does a reasonably good job of trying to balance the vehicle and put it in an appropriate tier, then it's fine. But if it's over-tiered or it's way under-tiered or something like that, then that's when I start to have problems with it. Now, that doesn't mean that they should just outright remove some vehicles from the game. That is, unless they are paper vehicles which don't add anything to the game. As long as they're balanced vehicles that fulfill that meet the adding criteria of the game, I'm not against them. That goes for planes, ships, or tanks. Like, just more content is more content, people. I mean, maybe that's easy for me to say simply because I'm at the end game, quote unquote, in the fact that I've got pretty much all of the vehicles that I could ever want. And so more content is just more stuff for me to play with. And I know that for some people, like just seeing constantly added content and not fixes is really frustrating, and I get that. But at the same time, as soon as you stop adding content to a game like this, it will start to die. That goes for any free-to-play game. Whenever you stop adding, or any game that relies on continuous like content updates, whenever you do that, like whenever you stop adding content and just do fixes, the game quickly starts to lose player base, and that's just a simple fact. It's much better if you combine content with fixes. And I think Gaijin does an okay job of that. They can always do better. There's always room for improvement. And there are some things that Gaijin just doesn't do well at all. I think we can all agree. I mean, like balancing vehicle repair costs is awful. There are definitely some tiers in this game that are much better balanced than others. I think right now Tier 4 is the best that it's ever been. For example, I think Tier 4 is probably the most balanced tier in the game. But that could change within a few months. New paid content still okay with you, as in if new content was only pay to get? I think adding only content that you have to pay to get is not beneficial overall. Yes, it's new content, but it's new content that's locked behind a paywall that a vast majority of people are not going to pay for. I mean, a vast majority of people who play this game play it for free for the most part. And then maybe spend a couple bucks here and there. But I don't think that most people are going... I don't think that a vast majority of people who play this game, who aren't even in the tiers where a lot of the new premiums are coming out, are going to be dropping $60 on a new vehicle every single patch. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend. Now, that being said, those players who are at that tier are likely people who have been paying for the game for a while and are no stranger to paying for stuff. So they're far more likely to buy those vehicles, especially to fill out their lineups. Anti-free-to-plays? Potentially, but at the same time, it's the people who are paying for that stuff that keep the game going. The people who pay for the content are the people who allow the free-to-play players to keep playing. So, yeah, in one sense, it could be anti-free-to-play, but on the other hand, if nobody pays for anything, the game will die. They can't, like, there's no way that they can continue to support their development outside of that. Now, do I think that they should just spam? Do I think that they should just spam new, like, paid content only? No. They need to have a balance there. And I think the balance is out of whack right now. Mainly because I think what they're doing is they're just creating, like, these spacer patches before they introduce the next big content patch, like the next new tech tree or whatever. Jake, thanks for the buck through the super chat, man. Appreciate it. All right, let me switch over here. I've been talking long enough. War Thunder gonna pop up here any second now. There we go. Oh yeah, there are tons of free-to-plays out there, but there aren't really any that match War Thunder. Like, there's nothing like War Thunder out there. The closest you could argue would be World of Tanks, and World of Tanks really is a completely different game. Same with World of Warplanes and World of Warships.
If you would join us.
Hey, dude. Yeah, I'll get you in here once I play a couple battles. But yeah, in general, I don't have a problem with paid content being added to the game, as long as they're balancing it out with non-paid content, with free content for everybody. Well, yeah, World of Tanks is also made for a very different demographic. It is made for an arcade audience, and that's fine. It's just not what I prefer. I prefer I think War Thunder has pretty much nailed the balancing between realism and arcade gameplay. Better than most other games have. Like, you've got, on one hand, you've got full-on simulators like Steel Beast and upcoming games like Steel Gear or IL-2 Tank Crew. And then you've got War Thunder, which is kind of like leaning towards that, but closer to the middle. And then on the complete opposite spectrum, you've got World of Tanks. And, like, all of the other tank arcade games out there. And I tend to find that most people who play World of Tanks and try War Thunder tend to like War Thunder a lot better than World of Tanks. And I think that if you compare the business practices between War Thunder and World of Tanks, you'll find that War Thunder is better. Alright, let's get into a battle here. Enough of my rambling. We don't talk about the COD World War II tank missions. You know what I found was actually pretty interesting? like, does anybody remember in Call of Duty World at War on some of the multiplayer maps there were tanks that you could drive around and play? Like, that was a really interesting idea. Now, granted, it was horribly unbalanced towards the infantry, because you had to, like, those tanks in World at War were just damage sponges. Like, you could throw so much at those tanks and they would just, like, shrug it off before they went down. Yeah, I remember you had to use some pretty cheese tactics in order to take down the tanks in IL-2, or in Call of Duty World at War. Also remember, they led to some pretty hilarious glitches as well. Yeah, and then you have stuff like Red Orchestra 2 and Hell Let Loose and Postscriptum, and maybe Squad. I think the first 3 games I mentioned are they're definitely closer to Simulator, but they're not quite there. They're like just past War Thunder, and the fact that they've got that you've got the controls for those games tend to be a lot different. Like Red Orchestra 2 has got all of the tank interiors modeled, but there's only a few vehicles in that game. There's only like 4 or 5, like I believe there's only like 4 vehicles or 6 vehicles or something like that. Whereas Postscriptum and Hell Let Loose, while they only have a few limited selection of vehicles, they have the controls that make the tanks feel more like tanks, and less like tank shooters, like War Thunder or World of Tanks does. Like, for example, in Postscriptum and Hell Let Loose, in order to aim the gun, you can't use your mouse. You have to use your keyboard to simulate like the manual traverse mechanisms and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I think it makes tanks a lot more vulnerable to infantry, but also potentially a lot more fun to play, especially when you're doing multi-crew, like you've got a driver and a commander. Will you ever play DCS? I actually have DCS, and I played it at the start of the year. I just haven't gotten back into it. I gotta pull out my HOTAS system. While I was out on vacation, my mother put away my HOTAS. I'm like, Mom, I was using that! But yeah, I like DCS. It's just, I haven't... DCS is a time commitment. The question is whether or not I want to actually put in that commitment, to, like, learn an aircraft. And I've got quite a few. I've got the 109K4. I've got the F-18 Super Hornet, or not the F-18 Super Hornet, the F-18 Hornet. I've got the A-10, but the only 2 aircraft I've actually put really any time into would be the F-18 and the A-10. Yeah, damn 50 cals. That was annoying. Ah, crap. Oh, that was from my direct front. I see it. I wasn't really bringing that vehicle into a particularly good position, was I? Oh well, I'm still warming up. Link 16 data link, JSOW, JDM, GPS, got bombs. Targeting pod is coming soon as well. Yeah, like the last time I played the Lightning, or the last time I played the F-18 was in January. I just haven't played DCS. Like I need to play it, and I've got friends who do play it, but I haven't gotten around to it. Also, I'm looking at the F-14 and the F-16 with like I really want it, but at the same time, I haven't played DCS enough to justify the cost. Like, if I'm gonna drop close to $80 on a module, like, I want to be damn sure that I'm actually gonna play it, you know? Because right now I've got, like I said, the 109, the F-18, and the A-10, but I've also got Flaming Cliffs 3. I haven't touched Flaming Cliffs. I got it simply because it would give me a, oh shit, that's a Conqueror. This is where the smoke shells come in handy. There we go. Blinded him. I think. Help out this Panther too. Alright, where'd the Conqueror go? The fact that he's no longer there is really concerning. He could be on my left flank, but I'm not certain. I mean, I wouldn't go up there if I was the Conqueror. I think he's flanking me. Oh, shit! Ah! I think the Conqueror's flanking me. Fuck, there was the... Damn it. I would not have expected the Conqueror to go up there. Simply because of the lack of gun depression, but apparently I was wrong. Damn it. Well, of course smoke can be annoying to be on the receiving end. You don't need me to tell you that. Oh shit, that's the Walker Bulldog. Woo! Go away! Oh god, he just killed 2 of my crew members. Damn it. Off to a great start today. Yeah, Fretzy, that's intentional.
If you would join us.
Yeah, it's in the way of the map on purpose. I did not do well this game. Pretty modern. Honestly, I don't think that the A-10, in the guise that many people are going to be expecting to use it, that being like close air support strafing runs, is actually going to be all that useful at top tier. Considering how good the surface-to-air missile systems that we have are, I think where the A-10 would really come into its own would be long-range smart weapons like the Maverick and so on. The gun would essentially only be an option if the enemy's surface-to-air missile systems were not paying attention, and you managed to get in close. In addition, the A-10 is very slow, and by design. But at the same time, the A-10 is one of those vehicles you call in when you have air superiority. So I don't think the A-10 will actually do all that well. It has the potential to be extremely powerful, but it really depends on the weapons that Gaijin gives it. If it only has dumb rockets and dumb bombs, then the A-10 will struggle. I guarantee it. Something like the Su-25 Frogfoot would likely be better. Simply because once the Su-25 drops all its ordnance, it can go up to over Mach 1. Like, it can go pretty damn fast once it drops all of its weapons. And it's got a 30mm cannon that's pretty darn good in its own right. So, if you do need to strafe with the Frogfoot, you're not giving up much either. And as nice it would be to just burp people with the A-10's gun, like, I think if helicopters have shown us anything, it's that slow-moving aircraft tend to get shredded by top-tier anti-aircraft. Whether it be surface-to-air missile systems or just the gun-type anti-aircraft. There's a lot there that can really give the A-10 a hard time. The new AUBL looks pretty interesting. I've been waiting on a vehicle to get the 60mm HVMS cannon for quite some time, because that thing is just hilarious. I mean, because you can put it on you can put it on so many chassis, and they have put it on so many chassis. I mean, there were Shermans fitted with it, there were Chaffees fitted with it, there were M113s fitted with it, there were fucking Centauros fitted with it. Like, name a lightly armored vehicle, and they probably fitted a 60mm HVMS to it at some point or another.
You know what I mean? For keeping your old man at home and keeping him a bit busy like, you know.
So,
Everybody says
that gun can go on a multitude of different chassis.
and I like to sit on my things that I've got rationed. You can pinch all my ham and my plum and apple jam, but please leave my butter alone.
I mean, I think if Gaijin have shown us anything in the last year or so, it's that they're willing to work on implementing advanced weapon systems and so on. The question is that the problem with implementing a lot of these new systems is that it's going to take a few patches for them to get really nailed down and developed to the point where they're going to work correctly. Because they always introduce these things at a baseline functional level, and then over time they improve them and make them far more playable. So the first iterations of a lot of these weapon systems aren't going to work very well, or they're not going to work perfectly. They're going to work to a good enough degree, but they're not going to be perfect.
On the things that are rationed, so pinch all my ham and my plum and apple jam.
Yeah, but Noah, how many people are going to be flying an A-10 with no weapons on it whatsoever? I mean, I think they're going to find out pretty quickly that even if they do go in without any weapons on board outside of the gun, they're still going to find that they're not going to be fast enough to escape any of the fighters or the SAMs. Last I checked, the SAMs were a lot faster than aircraft. Yeah, I played plenty of Command & Conquer games. Command & Conquer Generals is my bae. Especially Zero Hour. Zero Hour is so much fun. Time to play the spotting game. Nice, somebody got him. What's my favorite general? Oh man, that's a tough one. Either the Air Force general or the what's it called? I think the laser general is pretty good. Whoever the PLA explosives guy is pretty fun. I don't know if I actually have a favorite general, to be totally honest. I think maybe I think if I had to choose one, maybe the laser general, simply because of his versatility. Like the Air Force general is incredibly fun to play, but as soon as you run into a faction with a lot of air defense, you're kind of screwed. Because you just don't have the ground forces punch to deal with them. And with the laser general, you can at the very least like shoot down missiles. You can, your tanks are quite powerful in and of themselves. Yeah, Towns. Yeah, Granger was air, Towns was laser. I think if I had to choose one, I think it'd probably be Towns, just because of the versatility that he brings to the table. As far as sheer fun though goes, the PLA are just hilariously fun. Nothing quite beats being able to disguise bomb trucks as like just average civilian cars and then just blowing up an entire tank column. Because the enemy wasn't paying attention. Oh come on, really? I don't even have the horsepower to get up the hill. Oh my god, am I gonna be trapped here? I hope not. I think I'm getting out. I'm good. I'm getting out. Seriously, this thing's stock without the engine upgrades is pretty pathetic. It also bothers me that vehicles in War Thunder always wheeled vehicles in War Thunder have always struggled with slopes for some specific reason, or vehicles in War Thunder in general tend to struggle with a lot of slopes. Like there are vehicles who struggle with slopes that should never have a problem with them. Churchill being a perfect example. Woo! Ah, crap. Damn it. I thought our guys had them handled over there. Shoot. Apparently not. Apparently they did not have them handled. Not in the slightest. I mean, the wheeled vehicles are definitely a lot more fun ever since they implemented the fix to like the way that wheeled vehicles drive. Jesus Christ, English is hard. They're definitely more fun to play. They're not as much of a pain in the ass, but still, the way that they handle slopes in this game is just ridiculous. There should be no reason a vehicle like that should not be able to handle that shallow of a slope, even without the engine upgrades. Like, really, in my opinion, the engine upgrades should really only affect stuff like acceleration and maximum power, like very end power, and not take away like a quarter of your power, of your overall engine power, and almost all of your acceleration ability. Before the driving thing, they didn't get all of the vehicles. I know that. But a lot of the popular stuff at top tier, or nearer the top tier, got it, since it was being played quite a bit. What I'm trying to do here is get over onto this flank so I can shoot into the guys that are pushing onto B from there. Although I think my guys may have killed them at this point. Although I made that mistake last time of assuming they had it handled and I died. There's a guy over there. That's the really crappy part about the M26 in general. Its engine is very much underpowered for a vehicle of this weight. What is that? Firing awfully fast. Unless it's multiple vehicles, which wouldn't surprise me. They're moving. Got one. Challenger, okay. Kind of looks like our guys have it. No. Our guys don't have it handled on the point anymore. What happened to all of our heavies? There was like 4 or 5 heavies on that point. That's disturbing. Yeah. The guys do not have it handled. I think what I suspect happened there is the heavies tried to push down the hill and they got massacred. Crap, I only got his track too. Darn it. I can't spawn an aircraft either. The Fiat is probably going to be my best option here. No, I don't really play. I mean, I've played Smash Bros, but I'm not really into most of Nintendo's products. Never really have been all that invested. I've always preferred military simulations and strategy games over reaction time based games, over Twitch games. Whether that be Twitch shooters or whether that be Twitch shooters or platformers or something like that. I am not a fan of platformers at all. I've always just found them so incredibly frustrating to play. So stuff like Smash never really appealed to me. I mean, I've played it at friends' houses and so on their, like, on various gaming systems, but it's not something that I would go and pick up. You didn't need that cannon breach, did you? Okay, he's panicking. Crap. Trying to run. Oh, shit. He's got friends with him. And the 50 cals were not going to help either. Where the hell did the, Where the hell did the FV4202 get off to? That's my question. He's there one moment and gone the next. I don't recall the FV having that much in the way of reverse speed either. There's not much I can really do with this thing. Battle is just not going our way. We don't have the people to either to make a counterattack. Yeah, Squire's cool, man. It's a little interesting. Like, everybody knows, a lot of people know Squire's personality on YouTube, and I can confirm that his YouTube personality and his like IRL personality are the exact same thing. Like, that sort of like uniquely British sarcastic attitude carries over exactly to who he is. Like, it doesn't stop. That's him 24/7. And it's hilarious. Yeah, Squire's a great guy. Especially having hung out with him in Gamescom last year. Which it doesn't look like Gaijin is even going to Gamescom this year from what I'm hearing. Which is really quite sad. The squad request. Are we doing squad ups? Yeah, in a bit. I didn't see the squad request. My bad. Must have been busy doing something else. Do I play Team Fortress? No, not really. It's Team Fortress is yet another one of those Twitch-based shooters that or Twitch shooters that I'm just not particularly good at. My reaction times are okay, but I've never been particularly amazing at first-person shooters. At least ones that rely on reaction time. No, that's not good. Ugh, stuck here. Although, I may as well make this hilarious. Honestly, I firmly believe that this vehicle should be moved to 6.7 and given APDS. For the RH202 that it's running. What's up? Oh, sure. I'll take one. Appreciate it, Mom. I'm getting a smoothie, apparently. Hooray. Oh. Oh my god, I can penetrate the turret? It didn't do anything, no. Uh-oh. Oh, it's not good. This ain't good, dog. This ain't good. Ah! Go away. Oh crap, there goes my gunner. LOL! How did that work? Oh. I can't believe that actually worked. Oh. It's a really good smoothie. Well, considering how that game went in general, not a terrible result. But yeah, I definitely think that the R3 could be moved to 6.7, given APDS, and it would be perfectly balanced. Like, the fact that this thing is a 3.7 is just hilarious to me.
Got just a teeny suspicion he's made a mistake. Saying the Mediterranean,
Because, I mean,
Italian lake.
the M42 isn't actually a bad vehicle.
Father second is boasting.
It's quite literally just an Italian Whirlwind. It's got like the same, I believe it's got like the same horizontal traverse speed. It's got the same ammunition available to it. The only thing that's different about it is that it only has like 12 round magazines or something like that, or 10 or 12 round magazines. So you run out of ammunition a lot quicker with the Contrario before you have to reload than you did with the Warble. Twenty's better than the Saddam? I don't know about that. I mean, the Saddam has the fastest turret rotation in the game, and it does have a tracking radar. So, I would say, like, as far as shooting down aircraft is concerned, and heck, even defending itself, it's got APDS belts. I'd say the Saddam is overall better. The only thing that the R3 has over this vehicle is the mobility. And the fact that it's just such a tiny target. I mean, the fact that that Conway played that probably the worst way he could. Instead of rotating his hull with his turret, he just tried to track me with his turret, and that was never going to work. So I don't know what he was thinking there.
They do say with Adolf, his name simply reeks.
Maybe the engine was broken? Maybe? I'm not sure. It didn't look like it when I was shooting at him, but...
Soprano sneeze on their toppies, of mezzos no trace, and a bomb on each base.
But yeah, if there's definitely one thing that the Italians are freaking good at, it's their SPAA. The fact that you only get Hesh and Heat with this thing, though, is really quite a pain. Simply because the Heat doesn't tend to do anywhere near as much damage as like a solid AP round or AP FSDS would. Yeah, the British stuff is pretty fun. The Brit tanks are great. with the like, even at tier 1, they're pretty darn good. Like, the British tanks are great all the way up until tiers 6 and 7. I think. Or is it tier 7 just... Is it just tier 7? No, it's tier 6 and 7. Basically, up until anything... Like, once you start getting to Challenger 1, that's when things, like, just go out the window for the British. Like, up to the Chieftain Mark 7... Or actually, even the Chieftain Mark 10 is, like, is where bad shit starts to happen. I still think that the Chieftain Mark 10 should be an 8.7. It has no business being at tier that it's at currently. But yeah, I really enjoy the British all the way up to the Chieftains. Like the Chieftain Mark 3 and the Chieftain Mark 5. But once you get up to the Chieftain Mark 10, then it's just, ugh. The Chieftain Mark 10 is way over tiered for what it is. The Challengers are decidedly not very good vehicles at top tier. Challenger 2 is better, but the Challengers still retain the problem of not enough hull armor. And giant weak points. Meaning that they are confined to playing one specific way, and that specific way is actively punished by the way that the game is set up. Especially the game modes. That's not working out for him, is it? Yeah, that didn't work for him. Mark 5 is pretty lame as well. Well, yeah, it offers next to no advantages over the Mark 3, and it's a higher battle rating for no reason whatsoever. Really? That wasn't a live vehicle? There's no way that's not alive. Fire one more shot here, then I gotta move. Yeah, he's alive. Game! Why wouldn't you spot him? I'm really not a fan of this idea that if you somehow miss a spot, like, it punishes you for, like, 30 or 40 seconds. I think the standard, like, cooldown, where it's like a 3 to 5 second cooldown when you actually do spot something is perfect. It keeps people from spamming the spot button all the time. But if you do happen to miss a spot, it doesn't penalize you and take away your ability to be useful to the team for 30 seconds. Like, I'm gonna try this again. Yeah, it didn't work. What the hell? That's so dumb. Try 1700. Are you fucking serious? I think at this point, like, the range setting that I put it to doesn't really matter all that much. It's just going to be whether or not the dispersion decides to cooperate with me. Yeah, see, like, that's just the dispersion working against me. There's no point. I'm just burning ammo at that point. Shit. That's annoying. Oh, shit. There's a tank right there. I thought I saw a tank right there. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I could have sworn I saw a tank right here. I'm losing it. The spotting mechanism has no bearing on the dispersion of the gun. It's just the gun is not accurate enough to make that kind of a hit. Alright, that's not gonna work. And I'd rather not take a hit from a 152. Ideally, what I want to do is get over here and then spot, but that's probably not going to happen. I think I'm kind of confined to this spot here. There we go, that's kind of the hit I was looking for. Oh, that's going way low. Of course. Alright, let's move. He's now aware that we are there. Oh, that was way over his head. Let's move. Before he has a chance to... move before he has a chance to sight in on us. He's looking this way now. He knows what's up. I don't know what this RU is trying to achieve. I'm gonna try something really stupid, and I'm gonna try and rush A. It's entirely possible this guy out in the distance may get me, or somebody who's heading over here will get me. I'm kind of hoping that there's not many people in the town here. Shit! And there's this asshole, who knows exactly where I am. He's moving. I don't know where that went. That was a pure ghost shell. Hooray. Gotta love ghost shells for the win. Just trying to get me with 50 cals at this point. I'd really like it if this Yank Panther would help me out here. Alright, well, somebody else is capping A at least to stop the bleed. That's not going to be good enough, though. We need to cap... That's really frustrating. Got his loader. Oh, well, I put one right on his gun barrel. He's not gonna be able to shoot me for a bit. Now's my chance. Oh, nice. And then the Dornier took him out. Perfect. Ah. I don't think this building is going to protect me. Shoot. I'm not really going to be able to help. Ah, who the heck shot me? so he's up there. And he took out the 10.5 behind me. The Ag Panther is not paying any attention whatsoever to the fact that there's a Lorraine 40T directly behind him. Either that or he's just choosing to ignore him. Ah, crap. Now I'm gonna get machine gun from this guy, and I'm probably gonna get a... yeah. I don't think there was much I was gonna be able to do there. Alright. Alright, I think we've had a sufficient number of terrible games to start taking in squad requests.
The victory roll, the victory roll, the victory roll.
And we'll get... Okay. Alright, we can play something else. We don't have to play the Italians.
He's a grand old man, never was an also ran. Britain's guiding star, known to see them far, wearing the famous bulldog grin and smoking a big cigar. He's a grand.
You think you could make a video of a list of changes that personally you would personally make to the game and your reasons why? I'm sure it'd be interesting and get people talking. Maybe.
Then we'll see the rain for when
Mr. Z, huh? Okay.
for what we've done before, we know we're jolly well do again. If we follow the grand old man, he's the grand old man. Never was an also ran. Britain's guiding star, known both near and far, wearing the famous bulldog grin and smoking a big cigar. He's the grand old man.
Alright, Z, I sent you a,
And now it's up
I only have Germans?
we've got to
That's fine.
We know that we have got the stuff that's going to see us through. There's the army
Um...
and the boys in navy blue, and we still got the grand old man.
Stu, do you not have Germans? I don't remember if you do. 7-7 German? Okay, good. I'm gonna do 6-7 German if, Oh, okay. So Z said he will take a while. Do you want us to play a game, Z, while we're waiting for you? Or will it be short enough that, that you can just jump in? Or that you'll be in soon enough? Germans and Americans up to tier 3, so... I'll probably stay off of VC for now. Maybe a little bit later. Just depends on how I'm feeling.
Mr. Brown of London town was happy as could be. Everything was apple pie so far as he could see. He'd got his wife.
Alright, I'm not hearing anything on Z's end.
Things were right as rain.
So... Z, do you want us to play a game while we're waiting for you, or should we just wait?
Then Mr. Brown of London town had a job to do, meant to see it through, and he did it too.
Okay, this game is loading up. Alright.
Mr. Brown of London town sent the wife away, sent the kids to play, miles and miles away. Things blew up and things blew down, seemed to
If you could put any chassis with any turret and any gun, what would it be? I'd probably take an M1 chassis with a Leopard 2 turret and L55. I don't like the whole. I don't like the massive hull ammo storage on the Leopard 2. And I know that's going to severely reduce the amount of ammunition that I can carry in the Leopard in the turret, but I would still want to see a Leopard 2 turret. Like, yeah, you're giving up the turbo diesel, and you're going with the gas turbine, which is definitely going to be more fuel hungry. But on the other hand, I like not having to worry about a giant piece of whole ammo storage. Like, even the whole ammo storage on the M1 has a blowout panel, if I recall correctly. Well, if you've only got up to tier 3, then we'll play whatever you have, Z. We'll drop down to whatever lowest tier that you got. So let me know what's the highest battle rating you have, or what battle rating you want to play, and then we'll play that. I did send an invite, but I'll send it again. There. Right, I know you have Germans, but we were originally going to be doing 6-7. Do you have German 6-7? I thought you said you only have Germans and Americans up to tier 3. Okay, it looks like he's got a 6-7 lineup. Stu, go ahead and ready up. There we go. Yeah, the gun on the C1 Ariete really isn't anything special. It's just the ammo it's firing. I mean, that's why I said an L55 though, because like the minimum the L55 would be firing would be DM53. And DM53 is pretty scary in and of itself. Although now I believe they're up to DM63A1. I'm gonna go west. Oh boy. Probably to get people to play top tier Italy. Yeah, probably. They gotta do something to make top tier Italy playable. Or at least, they have to give a reason for people to play top tier Italy over other nations, so I suppose that's one way of doing it. At the same time, though, it really doesn't change much because there's a lot of other shells in the game that even though they don't perform as well, they can still penetrate almost anything they're going to face. With the exception being the 2A5's turret. But pretty much nothing is getting through the 2A5's turret. No comment. There's one in every crowd. Alright, Leopard, what do you see? Oh, there's a heavy tank here. P-34. Wow, that didn't pen. That's rather annoying, to say the least. Nice. Alright, well, at least Z took care of it. Did I add playable artillery in the game? I mean, we've already got some artillery vehicles. I think as like novelties for just derping around, it's fine. But I think introducing them as like with purposely built artillery sighting systems and so on, so that they could do indirect fire onto people, would be really, really annoying. Like, I would rather not have to deal with that. Because then all that would do is that would only serve to increase people's tendency to camp and not move. And as it is, like... And while I even prefer playing a defensive playstyle, at some point, even I recognize that I have to be able to move. And if there's always that possibility that some hammer of God is going to come out of nowhere and just destroy me, and I'll have no chance to defend against it, like, I'm not into that. Like, the addition of artillery into games like World of Tanks really hurt the game. It did not help the game at all. I have no idea what the frick shot me. And... damn it! Where the fudge nugget is this coming from? What the hell? I am so confused. Is it like coming from up here? Ugh, it didn't matter. I was caught out and I couldn't back out of that. What the fuck was shooting at me from my right? That's incredibly annoying. For this. I mean, even if it's, like, hell, even if it's just a bird's eye, like, even if it's just, like, a new aiming mechanic based on mills, it would be extraordinarily difficult to make that work, and make it work on a regular basis for the artillerymen. I'm just not a fan of introducing indirect fire weapons as, like, something to deliberately shoot at tanks. At least with close air support, like, there are ways to counter it. You can't counter a shell in flight outside of hoping that it misses or it bounces. And that's just not fun. Like, I can deal with cast because there are ways to counter cast. There are not many ways to counter a shell in flight. There just aren't. And I do not want to see that gameplay introduced to War Thunder, because that would only serve to hurt the gameplay. It wouldn't make it better. It would create more problems than it would create solutions. Like, and it's an answer to a problem that we don't have. Like, if you want to dig somebody out of a defensive position, that's what aircraft are for. And aircraft would do it far more efficiently and are far more balanced in doing it. Because, well, you can shoot down an aircraft with a main gun or with machine guns. Good luck shooting a shell out of midair. Hey, Al. So yeah, unless you're using artillery vehicles for direct fire and so on, I'm not really interested in seeing more of them. Probably gonna get shot in the flank here, but I really want to get this tortoise. Fuck. I was hoping that would penetrate through the tracks. Oh, those are bombs. I was gonna die either way. Where did he penetrate me, though? Get my lower plate? Or did he have to get through the side, even at that angle? Nah, he got through the lower plate. Okay. Oh boy. Today is not with me, is it? I think I used up all my good games for the weekend on Friday. I'm just not allowed to have a good game now. To be fair, my play hasn't been helping things. I've just had nothing but terrible teams today. Oh my god, they completely overran our flanks. Yikes. Shit, that's the IS-6. Thank God for heat. I knew there was somebody there. I just didn't realize he was right there. Damn it. Oh well. He's certainly not dead. Ah, dang it. Well, not much I can do about this. And I can't spawn in any aircraft. I'm not even sure if it's worth even spawning, but we'll see. Maybe there's some aircraft I can shoot at. Oh, I got one of them at least. I don't know what shot at me though. Probably the MX-13. Oh, wait. Got both of them. I'll take the triple strike. I guess that certainly makes up for the shitty game I've been having so far. I still wish that these guns wouldn't fire at the same time, like they would switch back and forth. Then you could put out a continuous stream of fire rather than having to hope that just one of your two shells hits. Because really what generally defines a good anti-aircraft vehicle is a vehicle that can put out a lot of fire into a very small area. I can spawn stuff, but I'm not gonna bother. Game's over. Get back to the hangar here. Got a blue screen of death. Play it safe and turn my PC off for now. Alright, have a good one, Stu. Yikes, that's not good. Critical structure corruption? That doesn't sound good at all. The shotgun pattern is best in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Which is why up until recently I always thought that the Shoka was probably the best anti-aircraft vehicle in the game. Because it just sprays 25mm cannon shells or whatever it is, 23mm into a concentrated area, but it's more like a shotgun blast than it is a concentrated, super accurate piece of fire. It also tends to scare the living crap out of the enemy. Either that or the Automagic, yeah, Al. The Automagic is the opposite end of the spectrum, though. The Automatic is what you want at long range to be able to just just create an area denial zone. The only thing that holds the Automagic back is that blasted ready rack, and the fact that it takes so long to reload that stupid thing. Alright, Stu had to jump out, so we'll just remove him from the squad. I think because that was really limited. I'll try and give Stu back some of his points.
Your hands are dirty, your pants are dirty, you're dirty behind the ear. Said the bombardier to the gunner. Well, how are we fixed for lead? The pilot said to the radio man. How's the weather ahead? Said the bombardier to the pilot. Hand us that pretty crate. 5 degrees of right just as sure as fate. The ship belonged to the bombardier who opened his little bay. He saw the target, the lovely target, and suddenly bombs away. Said the bombardier to the pilot. Call it a day. And then the pilot said to the radio man. Say we done it
750. So I'll give him back 750 points here. Sorry guys, I'm going to take care of this right now. Otherwise I'm going to forget and I know it. Under settings? No. Maybe it's under CloudBot? Oh, you know what? No, it's under my other bot. My bad. Oh. Currency.
And we will see a world that when we fly home again.
Oh, he's got 40,000 points. I don't think it's gonna matter. Nah, it doesn't matter. He's got almost enough points to become a mod already. So, all right, we'll just continue. It just turns to crap. Yeah, the ADATs, like the ADATs, it never got past the prototype testing stage. Everybody, go ahead and ready up. It was just far too expensive for what it was. What post-fix settings do I use? I basically just use default. And if you guys have questions, it's better to ask me in the chat rather than in game. Especially if you're on Twitch, you can highlight a question and I'll see, and to make sure I see it. I've played on Movie before. I'm not exactly a huge fan of that contrast. What do you guys think is the best tank in the game? If we're not going to count Leopard 2A5, then KV-220 would probably be one of the best in the game. I think T-29 is all around one of the best tanks in the game. M18 Hellcat. There's a few. But I think overall, tier for tier, the Leopard 2A5 is the best tank. Simply because it's just so dominant. The KV-220 is less dominant than it used to be now that people can actually see its armor. What really made the KV-220 so good was not so much that its armor was actually all that impressive for its tier. It's more that people just couldn't see what the armor was. So yeah, it was strong. It's got strong armor all the way around, but people couldn't see where the weak points were. And so if you didn't own a KV-220, it was very difficult to figure out where you should shoot on a KV-220, how you should deal with it. Now that that's no longer an issue for people, and they can look it up and see what its capabilities are, the KV-220 is not going to be as good as it used to be. It's a similar deal with the E-100. Oh, that's a Foch. Yeah, going head to head with a Foch is not what I would call a good time. Yeah, they got a Foch. Our best chance of beating a Foch is to get around it. We're not gonna beat it from the front. We just aren't. So, like, if the Jagdtiger maybe wants to go front and take a hit... Yeah, the Foch is right around the corner. Shit. The Foch should have difficulty penetrating your upper front plate nowadays because of the sloped armor pen nerfs. But he will go right through my turret, so there's... Oh, he's got an entire friend. He's got a lot of friends. Fuck. Alright, I gotta move. This is not gonna work. The Foch can pen the Jagdtiger maybe on the upper front, maybe on the upper casemate, but not on the. But unless he goes for a lower hole, unless he goes for a lower plate shot, I don't think he'll get you. See if I can try and get a sneaky shot into his side. No. The only way we're gonna get him is if we push through the middle and then go around behind. Oh shit! 12 o'clock. Oh, there's a lot of targets front. Oh, of course. Of fucking course. They've already got aircraft in the air. Dang it. Let's go, counter. The thing is, even the RU-251 won't penetrate the front of the Foch. The Foch is one of the few vehicles that is actually immune from the front to the RU-251. And the only way we're going to be able to get through that guy is if we go around him. And that mouse is going to have to pull out and take a hit for us. Like, just angle his turret, pull out, and take the hit. Outside of that, we're going to be stuck here. Maybe. Alright, I'm gonna try something really stupid. Let's do it! I got his barrel! Fuck. He had the Object 120. I got his barrel, though. If our guys are gonna push out, now's the time to do it. Crap, now that I think about it, I should have spawned in this thing and taken him out from the sky. Our team is just getting surrounded and torn apart, though. We are not going to last very long. Jesus Christ.
And there was much rejoicing.
Okay. Alright, I guess I'm not allowed to play the game then. Damn it, man. The Allied cast just tore us to fucking shreds. Yeah, trying to ask me questions while I'm in the middle of a battle and hoping for me to answer is a losing fight. While I'm in battle, I tend to focus on the battle. Not like in this case it's going to make that much of a difference. Jesus Christ, that fucking Foch screwed over this entire team. The fact that he was just there stopped our ability to advance down their flank. And people, just so you know, suicide bombing, even if you do kill two or three people, it's still a lot better if you actually survive the bombing. Just a quick tip. And I know I really shouldn't be saying that, considering how many times I crash when I bomb. But if you have the option to try and survive, at least make the attempt. Oh, great, they got a T-54. Yeah, I gathered that. We got foshed this game hard. This is only going to end one way, but I'm going to try and do my best. Yeah. Quelling isn't perfect, but it works. Oh, for fuck's sake. For goodness sake. Ugh. Oh, okay. Alright. Well, they're in the spawn now. I suppose that was only a matter of time, but... Heck, I'd rather play 5.3 than this. The allied cast spam is strong in this team. To say the very least. It also doesn't help that my aim has been complete shit and I haven't been able to... Oh, well, that's... I think that might explain a lot. I've got 200 ping and 2% packet loss. That might explain a ton, actually. As to why I just can't hit anything, because everything is like 2 seconds farther away than where I'm aiming. Or 2 seconds ahead of where I'm aiming, so that would explain a ton. Ugh. What a pain. Like, my SBA aim isn't great in the first place, but you add 200 ping on top of that, and that's not gonna result in a great display.
That works the thingamabob. It's a ticklish sort of job, making a thing for a thingamabob.
Hopefully that will improve things.
I don't know what it's for, but it's the
How fast is the turret rotation speed now? 51 degrees? That's pretty decent.
that holds the ring.
Or at least for this tier.
Thingamabob that makes the engine roar.
Yeah, we can drop down.
That makes the thing
Let's
the oil that
let's see how well the Tiger 1 spam is going.
the thingamabob that's going to win the war. It isn't all.
What is the worst vehicle in the game? I personally believe the Yag 10 is the worst vehicle in the game. Yeah, so let's go to 5-3. But that's it. But I only say the YAG 10 because I have a complete biased hatred towards that vehicle. I could be better, Hanabarka. The games could actually be going in my favor, but such is the way of War Thunder. Of all the games I've played today, I haven't won a single game. So, it's like I used up all of my good games the other day, on Friday. I think this was like a perfect 50-50 split, yeah. I had a perfect 50-50 split here, but I did really well in all of these games. Like, I don't think I had a bad game the entire session last time. And these are just nothing but disaster. Just disaster after disaster after disaster. Oh well. Such is the way of War Thunder. Yeah, the 5-7 is like... is the threshold for... I mean, if we do 5-7, I'm fine with that, but... at that point, I'll just pull out a crap ton of Panthers. I mean, you say that. I tend to do pretty well in my Tiger. Let's see. Alright, well, if we're gonna do 5-7, then that's fine. I don't think it pens more than its AP. Maybe at angles, but... and if it does, I haven't the faintest fucking clue why. Buff SPA or nerf Cass? I mean, I think the balance right now is fine for the most part. Like, the thing is, Cass isn't anywhere near as powerful as it used to be. Like, it's annoying, but it's nowhere near as powerful as it used to be. Like, with the way that the rockets used to work as bombs. It was awful. I have Armor 3. I don't even have it installed currently. I tend to play it in spurts. Like, I tend to have, like, several games that I kind of cycle through, with War Thunder generally being the constant one. It's like I'll generally have, like, some sort of RPG / adventure game, a strategy game, or a couple of strategy games, and maybe some sort of simulator on top of War Thunder. And it just depends. Sometimes of the year I'll play Arma, sometimes of the year I'll play another game like Fallout or something like that. It really just depends on how I feel. What do you think of Squad? Squad is alright, but I'm personally not a huge fan of I'm not a huge fan of like modern day stuff. Or I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of realistic I'm generally not a fan of realistic combat games past World War II. Arma, like, is kind of the exception to the rule, but that's just because it's a huge sandbox and there's literally a bajillion things you can do with it. Outside of just modern day stuff. Once everybody starts to get automatic weapons, like select fire assault rifles and so on, I generally start to lose interest. It's just the way that the firefights play out that I'm just not a huge fan of. Also, Squad has a number of issues. Mainly that its performance is utterly terrible for what it is. Like, they're working with Unreal, but they've been developing the game for several years now, and it's still an alpha. Like, they're still making alpha releases, essentially. And that game is going to be in development hell forever, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm just not interested in that. Also, the way the community tends to act sometimes, I'm not really a fan of. Some of their community tends to be pretty elitist. And I'm not saying all of it. I'm certain that there are casual aspects. There are casual groups, but it's just... it doesn't rub me the right way. Hey, Anabarka!
Let them eat shekels.
Thanks for the $5.56. Appreciate it, man. What's my favorite Fallout? I've actually had... I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I've actually had the most fun with Fallout 4. Not because of its story. The story is fucking terrible, and the RPG elements fucking suck, but... I've had a lot more fun with Fallout's mechanics than I have had with, like, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is by far the best Fallout in terms of, like, storytelling and so on. But the way the engine handles shooting in that game is such a pain in the ass. Which is why I'm really excited for those mods that are recreating stuff like Fallout New Vegas or like brand new Fallout universes using the Fallout 4 version of the engine. So from a gameplay perspective, I prefer Fallout 4. From a storytelling perspective, I prefer Fallout New Vegas. Oh yeah, Star Citizen. Star Citizen is the quintessential example of a player base that is desperately hoping their game doesn't actually turn out to be just a giant scam. Considering the amount of money people have put in. That's an ARL. Went over his head. Alright, I gotta move. He's got me zeroed now. This is where smoke shells gonna come in handy. It's an ARL-44. Oh yeah, he's dead. Cool. That 90mm gun could have given me some serious trouble. I really want to cap this point, even though I'm pretty certain it will be the death of me. Excuse me. Melridic, thanks for the 22 months, man. Really appreciate it. The grind, it's being pretty awful to me today. I think a Korean War era game would be fine. Since it's a good mix of like World War II and early Cold War stuff. Foxy, it's probably not a good idea for us to be standing right next to each other. Because, well, that's just a multi-kill waiting to happen. I'm fine, it's just I've got a lot of phlegm in my throat and it doesn't like to come out. should stop adding fake prototype vehicles. I never said they should stop adding prototype vehicles. I only said that they should stop adding paper vehicles. To be fair, though, Gaijin has been really good about that. There's only a few paper vehicles in War Thunder, but they were added because the game was it was a different game back when they were added. Like, they were necessary. And that's fine. Like, if it's a paper vehicle that is absolutely necessary to balance out a tree, fine. That's okay. What I really don't want them to start doing, though, is what World of Tanks is doing, and just literally just making up stuff. If they get to the point where they have to start making up stuff, then, like, I think that just goes to show that your progression system is far too limiting. Like, for example, World of Tanks has some really weird rules for adding vehicles that really wouldn't be that big of a jump. What the hell? Where's the M18? Behind? Is he in the town? Crap, there he is. Sneaky fuck. Would you go away so I can just repair the fucking tank? Not much I can do about this, other than just hope that he doesn't pen me in the next 30 seconds. Come on, just repair the fucking turret ring. Gotcha. Oh, and then he kills me with the last fucking shot he gets out of his gun. Damn it. Well, at least I got him. Alright, I'm gonna try Dornier, see if I can do anything. Well, I mean, there was a lot of World War II. There was a lot of World War II equipment that carried over to the Korean War. Although a vast majority of the prototype end of World War II vehicles never really made it to frontline service. There were exceptions. I mean, stuff like the IS-3, the IS-4, the T-44. They made it to frontline service. The T-54s, they made it to frontline service. T-44 really didn't last long, though. Oh, come on. That perfectly bracketed him and it didn't kill him. That's annoying. Okay. Oof. This thing really does not like to pull out of dives. I got a bigger fish to fry anyways. Damn. I mean, I critted him, but I hope that at least threw off his bomb drop. I only got one of my engines. Ooh. But I've got two, so I'm not worried yet. I'll ditch this bomb. Why would I hunt AA? Because the AA was shooting at me, man. And y'all weren't in any position to take care of it. Yeah, the 335 has a bomb bay. And you can carry a 1,000 kilogram bomb in it. On second thought, I don't really have the engine power to take on multiple aircraft. Let's just head back. E8 came back, but there's not much I can do about it at this point. Full-term idea? Potentially. I mean, if they were going to replace the 88 on the Panther II, the only other gun that they could actually put in it and be relatively historically accurate would be the 75 or the 75 L100. Which was a thing and did exist, and they did test it. It's just when they got it back to the factory after testing, they found that there was a crack in the barrel. And the gun was just too fragile. And yes, that was a 75mm gun with a 100mm caliber, or with a 100 caliber length. It's longer than the freaking tank is. And it looks a little ridiculous. Right, I forgot this thing doesn't have an air brake. Oh wow, this thing takes a while to put the landing gear down. Alright, I'll take that. It's actually a pretty decent landing. Just as my, I really hope that guy isn't coming for me. No, he's not. And just as my rear engine was about to die too from lack of oil. Or from overheat or something like that. See, that's the beauty of actually putting two engines powerful enough to fly the aircraft on a single one. Unlike the Henschel HS-129, that thing's engines are so underpowered you can barely fly it with one. The pictures of 75-100? I don't have any archival pictures. I imagine there are. Because we know from German documentation that they did test it. It's a pretty ludicrous design, but... And ultimately it didn't actually work. But they did build it. Oh yeah, I'm talking more about the 75-100 fitting in the Panther II turret. That would be far more likely to. But yeah, IRL, the 88, the long 88 that we have in game, the way that it's mounted in the Panther II's turret simply wouldn't work. There wouldn't be enough space for the gun. There wouldn't be enough space for the gun to recoil, especially without a muzzle brake on it. Like if they put a muzzle brake on it, that would be like you might be able to do it, but the Panther II in this game doesn't have a muzzle brake at all, so there's nothing to dampen that recoil. I mean, heck, even the Tiger IIs have a muzzle brake on their at the end of their barrels. Yeah, Wargaming came up with an 88mm 100 L100 gun as well for their Panther II and World of Tanks. It looks absolutely hilarious. And not even in a good way, just like in a dumb way. Like, seriously, this is the best you could do? Not to mention the fact that Wargaming has a habit of just not giving the slightest of shits about penetration values for anything. So it's like, in order to get the penetration values that we have in War Thunder for the standard Long 88, you have to put the L100 on. What the hell did that achieve, man? There we go. You're welcome, Foxy. Oh my god, we might actually win this game. Enemy plane? Oh yeah, I see it. There's multiple enemy aircraft. The PE-8's coming back. Oof. AA is getting feisty. What is that? It's an Electra. Crit. What did I crit on him, though? I'll let the KI-61 take care of him. Wait, really? It's a PE-8 without the 5,000 kilogram bomb? What is this heresy? Alright, get out. Get on it, Bombay. Bold move there, Mr. Z. It seems to pay it off, though. Are they still chasing that Electra? He's over there. Looks like the KI-61 pulled off of him. Come on. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Oh no, it wasn't an Electra at all. It was one of the XA-38s. It's the aircraft with the 75mm in the nose. I have one of those. It's alright. Nowhere near as good as this thing, though, as far as CAS is concerned. Mainly because it's pretty slow and the bomb load really isn't all that impressive. Because everything is essentially, you're essentially banking everything on that 75mm cannon. I can't believe we actually won a game. More drama. I'm not gonna give an opinion on that. Seeing as I'm friends with both people, and what's the beef between them is between them. There's no reason for me to comment on it. So I am staying well the way out of that, and I'm not gonna say anything either way. We can play one more game, and then I'm gonna jump out here. On the at least as far as this squad is concerned. Mark 7, huh? All right, well we can do that after this. Yeah, we can do the same tier. I suppose this result isn't all that surprising considering the ludicrous amount of premium spam that I'm running in this battle. The shameless premium spam.
Hang around camp that night, wondered what tomorrow'd bring. A banjo chord
Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm not gonna comment on either side of that entire situation.
little bit lonesome,
So,
little bit
I respect both guys. I'm friends with both of them.
and dreaming of you.
So, out of respect for both of them, I'm not gonna say anything.
Coming to view, while preening my rifle and dreaming of you. That goodbye kiss you left on my lips.
I've had my fair share of drama in the past, and the less drama I think that everybody can get into, the better.
But in the meantime,
So there's no point in talking about such a thing. Let's try the VFW. Alright, have a good one, Raymond. Thanks for stopping by, man. Excuse me. That's an 8 out of 10 premium spam. I know, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, Al. I don't have enough slots for every single German premium at that I could potentially put in at that tier. And also not all of them are spaded and aced. So it isn't a true shill lineup, but it's pretty close, or it's close enough. Anything worth returning for? What are you looking for, Acta? I mean, outside of like various balance changes that I think have made the game a lot more fun to play in certain tiers. Like, there's still a pretty heavy focus on top tier. Top tier still isn't particularly fun. At least not for me. Naval has gotten some interesting stuff, although I'm taking a break from Naval right now. I played the crap out of it for quite some time. And I kind of burned out on it. Come on. There we go. Ah, damn it. It's that guy over there. Or somebody way off in the distance. Now, I knew this was a risk going over here. I'm going to be very surprised if this guy doesn't actually finish me off. Oh, that could be a problem. Foxy, can I get some help? Foxy? Help? Oh no, I think your turret's out. Damn it. Go figure. The PT is like nowhere near helping us. In this case, the only reason I'm surviving is because he couldn't shoot at my hull, but now he can. Oh, never mind. He may actually help us. He may actually save me. Oh my god, thank you. Holy shit. I should not have survived that. Okay. I took a lot of damage from that, though. He took out all but 2 of my crew. I think the key word there, Loki, is that I am attempting to play during 5.7. Most of my games today have been pretty awful overall. God damn it, I just repaired that barrel. And the breach. Well, I got the M36 at the very least. I'm alright with that. Look at the door in the air again. Now we got a stream sniper, huh? How do we know that it was a stream sniper, though? I'm not gonna make an accusation if I don't really have evidence for it. Oh no, I don't have a... Damn it. I don't have elevators anymore. Now I got the F-82. That's something. Yes, that's exactly what the backpacks are for, carrying spare barrels and breach mechanisms. It's kind of a pain that War Thunder has turned into just whoever kills the cannon breach of the bad guy or the cannon barrel of the guy that they're facing wins the battle. Generally speaking. It's especially true at top tier. Oh, that's a super Pershing. That's definitely not something I wanted to see. Unless they just took care of him. Yeah, it looks like they got one of them, at the very least. Oof. No fire extinguisher, huh? Oh shit, he's still alive. Oh, oh, alright, he's no longer a problem. Darn. I was hoping that by blind firing I might get somebody. Enough PTSD for Hellcats? No. I just hear the voices in the back of my head. Like, I just hear the voices of Hellcat drivers in the back of my head all the time. Speaking of Hellcats. Oh, that's a much bigger tank than I thought it was. Damn. He must have pinned the turret. Oh no. No, he went right through the hole. Yeah, I forgot the 90mm can do that now. Damn it. Yeah. This is why I generally prefer to stick with 5.3, because that way I don't have to face as many up tiers. 5.7 Germany is okay, but it's not anywhere near as fun as 5.3 in my opinion. No, I'm not using a sound pack that you need to be a patron for, man. I just have Epic Thunder Sound Mod. If you search it up, you can find out where you can download it. I would really have preferred if this vehicle had just had a pure white camouflage. Having this white, like half white, half camouflage thing just doesn't work in a majority of cases. It just makes you stand out more. Damn. Alright, time to move. That was very ballsy of you to go through the same spot I was just in, Foxy. Oh god, oh god. Skill counter! Well, that's the last vehicle that I have. Now, Foxy, I would have preferred if you had been the AA. If you're gonna play an SBAA, focus on aircraft. And if I require help, I shall definitely be calling out for it. So. Anyways, I have a lot of vehicles, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump out here, I think. And go play a different tier. Probably go do that Churchill Mark 7 request that Build-A-Man put out. Just because this is an anti-aircraft gun doesn't mean that it's actually an AA in War Thunder. That has no bearing on anything. War Thunder really just doesn't like me today, does it? Well, it's just depressing more than anything else.
All the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces.
Alright, Churchill Mark 7. Avenger can go in somewhere. The Achilles can go in. Put him here. Well, actually it's going to be cheaper if I put the Avenger there and then put the Achilles in here. I think I'll keep the AEC Mark II in there just for scouting purposes. The Hellcat is fine. Oh, what is the battle rating of the Wyvern? 5.0, yeah. A little too high for my purposes. So the Hellcat will do just fine. What am I missing? Oh, okay, smoke. Buy this stuff. Okay. Let's try it. Need that 11th crew slot, yeah.
I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new. Looking at the moon, but I'll be
Ask really, really nicely. Well, Sandwich Warrior, if you want to join up and squad up with me, you're going to have to put in a squad up request. I do that because that way it's fair to people who have been watching the stream a lot longer, who are regulars and so on, and they're going to get an opportunity first. So if you hang out long enough, you can get enough points to squad up. It's just so I can keep it fair for everybody. I believe there's no reason now. Yeah, there's literally no reason to use M72 anymore. I don't even think I need that much ammo. 30 rounds will be just fine. It looks like I definitely got up-tiered. Alright, how we going, Stug? AVRE and the FE405? I'd probably take the AVRE. The FE405 definitely has the better gun, but you sacrifice so much for that. The AVRE is a better all-round dirt vehicle. And even then, it's still very highly specialized. What do you mean by points? Essentially, if you have stream, if you click on the puzzle piece in the bottom right hand corner, and you enable Streamlabs, you earn scrub points. You can spend those scrub points via the UI that pops up on the screen. There should be like a button in the bottom right hand corner with my logo on it. You click on that, and then you can redeem your scrub points to squad up, request vehicles, like have a question highlighted. It's like if you want to make sure that I don't miss a specific question that you have, then you can highlight a question. stuff like that. And if you've been around forever, then you can eventually earn enough points for to get Mod for Life. So if you earn enough points, you can eventually join the Twitch mod team. And if you but if you feel the need to but if you want to, say, do it on YouTube or whatever, I can also grant that as well. I would do it for my YouTube viewers as well, but the problem is that there just isn't any infrastructure on the YouTube within the YouTube chat in order for that to happen. Like, YouTube has no such back-end infrastructure to facilitate something like that, at least that I know of. So I'm kind of limited with what I can do there. Also, Twitch is frankly just a better platform for streamers anyways. I don't think this is gonna work. That's a tire too. As long as they're not firing APCR, I don't think they can pen... I'm not sure if they can pen me. It might actually be worth firing smoke at them. In this case. Just blinding them. That way our guys can move up. Should have loaded more smoke. Alright, I'm all out of smoke shells now. Damn it. Ah. Shit, they have an SU-100Y. I wasn't gonna bounce that. I didn't even see the SU-100Y. Jesus Christ, how did I miss him? Although I managed to get our guys close enough that hopefully they can, hopefully they'll make up for my sacrifice. Although I'm not particularly hopeful for that. Which Churchill is this? This is the Mark 7. Or it was the Mark 7 before it blew up. That looked like a tank through the window. Oh, hello. That's a tank out in the open. Ooh. Oh shit, that's a Panther. Alright. Time to back up. Sneaky Panther, too. Ugh. Forgot about the horrific reverse speed on this chassis. Britain, why? Oh, he was hoping I don't die. Oh, never mind, they got him. I guess we can probably add into the skill counter for him. Ah! No, 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 no! Oh no. Okay, this could be worse. Alright, this is okay. This is okay. This is okay. Al, I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. Shut up. Damn, I was really hoping I could hit him with the HE. Nope. Too dense. There's a KV-2 in the back there. Build the gunner. Alright. P-47's finished him off. Well, it looks like my valiant charge with the Churchill was what my team needed to be able to get into the in and amongst the enemy and push them back. The team has taken all the objectives at this point, and while we don't exactly have a ton of numbers, we have at least pushed the enemy back. Oh, Al, I totally expect that. I totally expect something that low. I mean, I did take this name, so... Oh, shit! I should have realized the M36 was probably backing up because of something. But I did not. And that's what I get. Why you bully, chat? No, skill counter only counts for enemy aircraft. Like if somebody gets cast, or if I get cast, that's the skill counter. Did the chat freeze? Yeah, it did. I'll have to refresh it. God damn it, Restream. Restream has been a real pain in the ass as of late. Oh, damn it. Well, you can at least have those. And, of course, they didn't do anything. Because reasons! Ah! Crap! Damn it! I got a little bit too greedy there. Really not much for me to do in this battle. I would probably have time for one more game after this. Then I'm gonna call it an evening. No, I like the bush. Damn, it only just finished? Shit. Well, I can at least take consolation in this battle that while I didn't ultimately do particularly well, I'm pretty certain the only reason this team actually pulled it out was because I made that charge right at the start and got our guys in there. And then it was up to them, and they managed to actually pull themselves together and keep themselves from dying instantly. Okay, what will I play for the last game today? Eh. You know what? I feel like playing Automagic. We'll do that. Need to play till 8 at least. I do actually have some things that I should take care of today. Like I need to get started on the TE-34-76 interior walkthrough. Okay, let's see how this goes. This early part of the battle is just going to be waiting to see how quickly the enemy team tries to bring in aircraft. Whew. That could have been bad. Oh, wait. Here we go. Yes, got him. Yeah, he didn't need that wing anyways. I'm not particularly comfortable with going that way. Load up the APFSDS. Just in case. The team has done a pretty good job of pushing them back on the right flank, but the left flank ain't doing so good. Question is, should I help? Well, it looks like our team has repulsed their initial attack here. At least by capping this, I'll guarantee that I can spawn again. I guess I'll just burn some ammo back while I sit here. Shit, there's somebody here. LOL. Driver's viewport for the win. There's an aircraft over here. Ah, it's a helicopter. Come on, radar. Oh, never mind, they got him. Ah, crap. I heard him right behind me at the last second. Yikes, we lost a lot of people all of a sudden. Nice. At least the upper 2K here. Oh, it's the same guy that was driving the Jagdpanther earlier. At least you got the Leclerc, which is good. If only I had this thing when I last played this map earlier today. And absolutely delete cast from the game. There we go. If you want to not get shot by the automatic, don't fly in a straight line. They've got a Tunguska up. question is, where are the enemy cats now? We have another 40 on A. An enemy tank really close to C. Yeah, he's capping C now. We gotta retake A. And they've only got a single SPAA covering A. Alright, good. We got him. We can try and cap A here. Hopefully I don't get shot in the ass like last time. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. To stop the radar from moving, they're probably less likely to see me if they drive right in. Like, if you're not paying attention and you're just trying to get here as fast as possible, I could see how you would miss this. Especially with this camo. I really like this camo. Get my aircraft up, though. Do you mind? Oh, he's on my team. Got him. Oh, not what I want. There he is. There we go.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Grab fun. Unfortunately, this was going to be the last game of the stream, so what I'll do is I'll refund your squad up, and next time I stream, which will likely be Tuesday, then you can request another one. So yeah, as a reminder, people, I am establishing a stream schedule for the next month and a half or so. Just depends on schooling and so on. And that's going to be from 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's about 9 hours behind Central European Time, and 2 or 3 hours behind Eastern Standard Time. So I will be streaming back on Tuesday, and I will see y'all then. So grab fun. Appreciate the squad up, but I will refund you your points right now. And hopefully you guys all had a good time. All right, have a good night, everybody. Take care.